What up, Dorrough? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man.
All right. So talk. What's going on with you, man? It's been a minute since I know you've been working, but
Yeah,
it's been a little bit of time since people really heard from you. What's been
yeah.
going on?
I guess when you say, I guess when it comes to the mainstream level, and then a lot of the stuff surfacing, this would be like the first project now that I'm putting out. That's for that. But like you say, I've been working, man. I've been touring, in and out the country. Just building my brand, building a fan base, developing as an artist, recording different music. Developing everything, my sound and everything. But yeah, I never stopped working, man. It's different areas. Like I tell a lot of people in the hip hop game, man, it's so big, and the world's so big that you different areas working to it all, come to a forefront. So yeah, I just been getting it in.
So how has things changed for you? I mean, when you first dropped, you had a lot of acclaim, for that sound, and the ringtones and everything was popping back then.
Yeah.
And now it's almost like a different world. Would you say that?
Yeah, it's definitely a different game. It's a different industry. It's a different world. You know what I'm saying? Which influence everything. And but I like it though. I think where it's at now, a lot of people, got their opinion about it, and a lot of times it's negative. But I actually like where it's at now because it's more in the control of the artist or whomever doing whatever is more in your control now. And then on top of that, you can the sound and kind of change, which I like. And I just think that, a lot of people look at it as it decline. I look at it as an evolution. I think that it's in a good place. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about your new EP?
The EP, man, the 6'3" EP. First of all, 6'3" is the AKA for me. They used to call me when I played ball, 6'3" in height. So it's just an AKA. So I decided to call the EP that to kind of just come with a whole new look, new image, new sound. Not a new name. I'm still Dorrough Music, but like I said, it's just an AKA. The EP is 6 songs, 3 bonus tracks. The bonus tracks is just 3 of the original songs, chopped and screwed. Shout out to DJ Mr. Rogers, DJ Princess Cut, and DJ Michael Watts. They chopped and screwed through the records. But man, like honestly, bro, like since I put the EP out, it only been a few days, and the records are moving. You know what I'm saying? DJs from all over the country hitting me up. A lot of the fans showing love. The Japanese track is getting a lot of traction right now. I just put that video out. A lot of people feeling the Yeah Yeah record and the Prince from the 80s. I got a record on there called McCotery, which is a shout out to Michael Crabtree for the Oakland Raiders. He got a new designer clothing line out called McCotery. That's what the record about. And a record called Frozen and Kidnapped the Roof. But they all 6 strong records. That's why I only wanted to, I got a ton of music, but I just wanted to put out 6 solid records. And I want to focus on them. I want to be able to push them. I want to shoot visuals for each one of them and push those visuals. I don't want to just see in the back. A lot of people didn't know, I've been releasing music. I never stopped. But at one point I was releasing a lot of music and it was hard to push it. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot independently, so I really figured out a formula. I just rather, keep it small and simple and push it that way. So that's what the EP about.
Is that more interesting to you now, the independent route, really?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of always been independent. You know what I'm saying? Even when I did the deal with E1, which is an independent label, it was after everything, the groundwork was already laid. You feel me? I had already blew the records up. I got them to a point, and then they came in and, helped out. So I already had an independent formula and moved that way. But as we know, when you move independently, a lot of times it's a longer route. You know what I'm saying? It's like taking a longer road. But once you get there, it's what it's supposed to be. So that's kind of been my situation. But yeah, independent is definitely you gotta really be about it. You feel me? You gotta really dedicate your life to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did to where you can roll with the punches, and that's where I'm at right now. But I'm in a good space.
Yeah. Now, what's been the the internet is different than the real world sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially the comments and things like that.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that difference? Because obviously your first foray out was real organic and street and all that, and now it's almost like you live online.
Yeah, I was just talking about this with somebody. It's like the internet is its own place. Like you say, you live in the internet. The internet it's like almost everybody is from the internet now. It's like you're not even really from a place. You are, but you ain't. So with that being said, it's like it is different because you gotta compare and contrast reality with the internet. But then again, that's reality as well. But it is different. Like you can go online and have. I know people that got a online campaign, online presence. But in real life, it's not really like that, and then vice versa, and then sometimes it's both. I think it's a combination of both, man. Like, don't live on the internet and just be on the internet. Also, go out in the real world, go out in the streets, go out to different places, and move like that too. And I think that will find its way on the internet. I think that's the best way to put it. But with that being said, like, I think a lot of people are still like figuring that part out and just moving on both ends. That's what I'm doing.
Now, when we, like sort of when you first came out and everything, it was real. The culture was really represented in the video. We almost learned about, Houston and Dallas and Texas in general, based on the visuals. And your video, not just yours, but there's a lot of people around at that point. Now things have changed a little bit. At least I think so. How do you feel, projection wise, with that area, Houston, Dallas, what's the scene like, and are you guys still interested in projecting that imagery out in the same way?
Well, yeah, I mean, I am to an extent, but I think we did that so well and we did that enough that to the point where I think a lot of people get it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people understand the Texas culture to where now I think it's about showing the other side of it, like showing the evolution of it and showing that it's just not this part of Texas. That's just like the core and the foundation, which we all from and we all know. And even myself helped paint that picture after like the Mike Jones and the Slim Thugs, Power Walls, the Flips, all them did it. You know what I'm saying? So like that's like embedded. So now it's about us, or at least with myself, it's just about showing another side of Texas, still that, but also showing the evolution, you know what I'm saying, that it's more artistry in it. It's not just the culture, because the culture is in us. At the end of the day, we can't escape it. And it really is like that, you feel me? It is a lot of Texas pride. People very prideful for Texas. The only people I know that's just as prideful is people from New York, like people from Brooklyn, like, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how Texas is so prideful. But with that being said, my thing is just to kind of paint a different look and kind of just stretch that and take it further.
What is your take on sort of how people have kind of taken bits and pieces from Texas? Like, a lot of people don't realize even things that have originated in Texas.
Yeah, man, we've been seeing the culture get took for years, like from the drink to, the screw and all the different things. But, starting off, you kind of look at it a certain way, but then you got to take it like that's what the industry is, or that's what it's about. Like, I think everybody get bits and pieces from everywhere. I think it's supposed to be that way. The only thing is when it's taken and then it's not like put in the perspective it's supposed to be. Like, if I take some New York culture, you gonna know that. I'm gonna let you know, or it's gonna be painted that way where it's not us like me trying to steal it. You feel me? And sometimes I think even with the the younger artists, I think some of them do, but then a lot of them don't know, you feel me, because the way it's getting painted, like they don't know what's what or where it come from. So with that being said, I think it's just everybody's duty to do things the way it's supposed to be done. Like if you take some courses, man, just shout them out. Like at the end, they're supposed to be that way. We supposed to share. It's a barter system at the end of the day, especially now with the internet. Like now with the internet, I don't know who's from who, where people from now. It's just one sound almost. Not even one sound. It's just like everybody in the same place, like you were saying earlier. Yeah, a big melting pot. Yeah, and it really not even just the United States. Now it's just the whole world. Like I just recently went out to Japan and I saw like, man, it's really like livable out here. Like they really on hip hop culture. I'm seeing what's going on out there in the UK. Like it's just like all coming together. So I look at it as a good thing overall. And I just think it's just that respect factor.
Was that what inspired the song Japanese?
Yeah, I did a tour out there last year. I did a 3-city tour in Okinawa, Tokyo, and Yokohama. And when I went out there, that was my first time out there. I had never been out there. I love the culture. I love the support that they gave, the shows, just everything. And that's what inspired me. But I didn't even do the song right then. It was just like, I knew I wanted to make a song that, for that, or to go back out there, and like 6 months later I ended up doing it, and then I put it out like 3 months after that, and then just ever since then it's just been rolling, and they loving it out there, man. A lot of people that's from Japan been like hitting me up on Twitter, Instagram, and everything, just going crazy over the record. But that's what I wanted to do, man. I really wanted to show love out there, kind of just like show people that, and even in hip hop, like you can go further. Like this really go far. There's no limits to it. And even myself, to put myself in a different box just to do something different. And I was kind of, I ain't gonna say I was nervous about doing it, but I didn't know how I was gonna do it because I was like, I'm gonna go to Japan and shoot this video. I don't know if people gonna understand it, but I'm gonna make them understand it. And so far, so good.
That's funny because my first thing was, oh man, they gonna get mad at this.
Yeah. A lot of people thought that, like they thought, you know what I'm saying, but now I'm really showing love, like the Japanese culture. Even from when I, like right now in my back of my head, I got a Japanese 6'3" in the back of my head. That's the number 6 and number 3. But I always, even when I was little, I always liked it, like certain culture from Japan, like they letters. You know, I used to watch a lot of the movies, you know what I'm saying? So I always liked it that. And then even with a female, like, I think, like, if you could create a female, like, I would create different parts, but, like, the eyes would come from the Asian culture, you feel me? Like, so it's really showing love. A lot of people I made that clear when I first made the record, like, hey, now I'm showing Japanese culture love. And that's why another reason why I went out to Japan to shoot it, you know, and they love the record.
Well, you know, they definitely liberally borrow from hip hop out there too.
Oh yeah. They got
a lot.
They a lot. Yeah, I think they learning it, man. I heard some songs out there where they was rapping straight in Japanese, but it was just straight like the formula, you know what I'm saying? Like the flow of, you know, what's going on right now. But I think at the end of the day that's a good thing too, because when you start doing that, you opening up the game for other artists.
I mean, was that your first time out of the country, and you know, do you want to do more of it?
That was my first time doing an international tour when I went to Japan. I definitely want to do more. A lot of international dates been opening up since I done that tour. It was a lot of times before where places in Germany was reaching out, but we could never get the actual dates because I was doing in-state dates. But now I think that's what's next for me as well, is to, you know, simultaneously be in and out the country and, you know, as many places I can be to spread the brand and spread the music.
What would you say you know, career-wise so far has been the highlight in that regard?
Man, honestly, it's crazy, bro, because I don't work with a lot of people, man. I think from Diddy to Wiz to Nipsey to, I mean, I can probably name so many different names. I think the most surprising for me was when I did the Diddy, when I did the Get Big remix, and you know, I had met Diddy during All-Star Weekend in Dallas, and through Webstar, shout out to Webstar, and then we linked on the phone. And then when I did the Get Big record, I literally reached out to Diddy. I texted him like, hey, bro, I got this record that's going up right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to put the remix together. He hit me back. And then, you know, he had me send him the record. I sent it to him. And then, like, maybe 3 days later, he had hit me back and told me to check my email, and he hopped on it. But what was even bigger is that we shot the video. So when I went to Atlanta just to get all that done, and that was me doing it myself. Like, wasn't no label doing that, wasn't no managers doing it. It was just me reaching out to artists. So I think just a lot, when I did that, it just opened it up. And it was just like, man, you know, if you really just want to do something, you can get it done. You feel me? You just got to do it and really be persistent with it. But working with everybody, there's still a lot of artists I want to work with. It's a lot of people making good music, some new artists making good music that I want to work with. And, you know, so my goal is just to make good music with whoever I can make it with.
How have you felt about the industries? Since you've been around for a minute, have you seen people's attitudes change or how they deal with you change?
Yeah, I mean, it's ups and downs, man. I mean, it's funny. Like me, I'm a solid person, so like I do my own thing. You feel me? But you know, it's people in the game that keep it 100 the whole way, and then it's switch ups. But with that being said, that's just life. You feel me? I don't take nothing heartfelt or never cold. I ain't never really had no situation to where I could be like, hey, this person did this. But I mean, just navigating through the industry and the world, you see a lot, man. You see a lot of people, you know, just being the way they are, I guess.
Yeah. How do you stay positive with that?
Focusing on just the craft, you know, focusing on myself, not in a selfish way, but you got to focus on yourself, because when you're in tune with what you got going on, nothing outside can ever affect you. You feel me? So it's just like, you know, I never depend on nothing or nobody. Therefore, you can't really let me down. You feel me? I don't put myself in a position for you to let me down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. You want to have people you can lean on. You want to have, you know, people you can quote unquote depend on, and you want to be able to do that. But man, for the most part, if you don't put yourself in that position to where it's a life or death situation where you got to depend on something, you'll never be let down. So that's just how I live in this music industry the same way. I just, work and focus on myself and let everything come to me. And then, I reach out to good people and people who, I feel is like minded. And most of the time it go the way it's supposed to go.
Okay. Now, growing up, who were you listening to when you were a shorty?
Man, it's crazy, man. Being from Texas, you got a lot of different influences. Now, me as myself, my first inspiration for to want to get into music or really understanding music was Bone Thugs and Harmony. You know what I'm saying? Tupac. You know what I'm saying? So that's what musically. And my sister, she was the only person in my family that was attached to music. Everybody else was sports. You know what I'm talking about? And I played sports as well. So she used to really listen to a lot of Lauryn Hill and all this stuff. So all this stuff would get in my psyche, and then that's when I really started liking music. But I wasn't trying to be an artist. I just used to love music, and I had a passion for the actual craft. But it wasn't until when you start seeing the UGKs and stuff that was going on in Texas that influenced you. You feel me? That starting at the Outkast and all that stuff, you just start seeing in the South movement, then you start getting influenced. And then it wasn't until in Texas when all that came and the flip wave came and, the DSR, I don't even know, DSR in Dallas, they had a big movement, you feel me? And that's when I started getting inspired, okay, I can do it because, when you see people around you doing it, it inspired you feel me? So I was inspired in a lot of different ways. It was levels to my inspiration, and I just jumped out the porch in high school and man, I'm finna do this music. I was playing ball too. I could have went either way. I played scholarships and everything, but one thing I like about music is you in more control. You feel me? Right now I can go make a song and put it out. With sports, it's a lot of politics. You gotta depend on a lot. You know what I'm saying? You can be great, but you still gotta go through camps. You gotta hope. You know what I'm saying? Your attitude gotta be right. You gotta get recruited. It's just a process. You can't really control it. Right. And I didn't like that aspect from it because I had seen so many people who till this day I be like, how they didn't make it to the NBA? How they make it to the NFL? Right. And they had all the talent in the world, but it was just the other stuff that kept them from it. And I was just like, nah, I gotta have more control, man. So I went the music route. Yeah.
Now, the South has been dominating hip-hop for a long time.
Yeah.
In fact, New York first #1 hit was Designer, and that's been 10 years.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. I didn't even know
from the South.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was from. Where he from? Brooklyn.
He's from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, man, it's still dope to me because at the end of the day, just let you know, man, it show you the power of the internet for one. To show you that it is a melting pot. But it also showed that, the culture spread. You feel me? I wouldn't be surprised if you hear a UK artist sounding like somebody from the South or somebody from the States or, from another country. You feel me? It's the internet. At the end of the day, it's our one thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. But, I think it's just a good thing, bro. At the end of the day, you can't really predict it. You just got to do you. Understand that things are going to change. It's going to always be new trends, evolution. So you just got to embrace it. Yeah.
I never heard your name caught up in any drama or anything.
Man, I don't really get caught up in no drama, man. It's just I'm so, I ain't gonna say I'm to myself, but I be so into my word. It's hard to get caught in drama when you focusing on yourself. You feel me? And I come across everybody, so it's not like I'm detached from everybody in the industry. I come across everybody. You feel me? But it's just that my goal is just one goal is to make it to a certain level and do things a certain way. So it's how can you focus on drama? You feel me? So that's probably why.